Okay, welcome back. So we had some problems yesterday with the, so I did some more driving in the Mustang after I loaded the base tune and gave it its first test yesterday. And I made a few adjustments on the acceleration enrichment versus map, and acceleration enrichment versus, I believe it was coolant temp. I am working on a custom VE table for like the cam and then kind of going from there. But I think the base map that I have versus the previous base map that the previous owner created, it's a lot better because it's actually driving, it's not breaking up, it's not lugging down hard under when you go into gear. It seems to run, but it seems like I'm still leaning out after the car warms up for a while. So after it warms up for a bit, I drive for probably 10 minutes. It seems like it just starts to lean out on the AFRs, right? Otherwise, if you're low pedal and cruising, it's fine, but after a while, it will do that as well. So, it's gonna lean out. So I'm like, okay, it can't be. So what I did, originally, I replaced the fuel pump because the fuel pump died on the first test and tune before this is on the previous owner's base map, what he came up with. He couldn't get it. He says something with the tune. Well, the fuel pump burnt out, so I had to go grab my truck and trailer, run across town, come back. We loaded it up, get it back to the house, drop it off. I replaced the fuel pump the next day, and what I did was I put a 5/16 shutoff valve in, plumbed it, because the fuel pump that I have it's definitely aftermarket heavy duty, the one that came in it. So it goes from the fuel cell down to a 5/8 is what's coming out. Then I got a 5/8 to 5/16 in here to reduce the hose, and then 5/16 inlet, which flows a lot more. So in between here, you may be able to see in some of the previous videos, I had the another chunk of 5/16 with the 5/16 shut off, just in case I had to do the pump because I didn't want all the fuel. But I think I was restricting it too much. I did a test flow with it on, and then I pulled it off and tested it, and it flows way more. So if you're gonna do a shut off, I would do it further up the line out of the tank, because once you get to the pump, you need to, if your pump is like a 5/16 inlet and outlet, a 5/16 shut off ain't gonna do it. So it was definitely priming a little bit loud. I pulled that off, got this back on, now it primes normal. Now, the other thing is, because from my understanding, you want to have, these are basically like a blow through. So when you run a fuel cell in an inline tank, you need to actually drop this pump down a little bit so you can get good flow into here. And then it pressurizes and sends it. I also have another a bigger fuel filter. So a lot of these parts you cannot find in town. So that's why I'm kind of converting it back, because I'm really not looking to make a lot of horsepower right now. I just want to get the tuning fundamentals, NA on the cam, basic setup, and then we'll start to get into more of the power and stuff like that. But I want to get it to where, right now you can only give it probably 25 to 40% throttle, and then it just falls off. So I'm working on the VE table and ignition timing map right now. So, but we're going to continue on and do some more data logs, and yeah, so that's what I did, and it flows a lot better. But what I'm thinking is, here it's all cool. Somewhere up here, I'm wondering if, because right where the header is, I'm wondering if see, this is my feed line, and the return line run, and you can see it kind of drops down a little bit. There's the fuel filter. You can see this little loop right here comes down, but it all runs right by the headers. So I'm wondering if I'm vapor locking now. So if we come up to the front of the vehicle, So we got long tube headers right here, but I'm gonna go further back because I can see I'm getting air bubbles back into the fuel tank, and I'm thinking right around this area, I'm gonna have to insulate these because look how close that is to the header. Right here, super close. I'm gonna have to wrap those up with some kind of reflective taping all the way down because look at that, it comes to the header. I think I'm vapor locking coming in. So I got good fuel pressure. But when I started driving it, it was falling out, so I'm gonna see what I got for reflective, some kind of heat tape, and grab some clothing pins from Walmart. And here, boom, running an O2 sensor, thumbs down, but our fuel lines are running like right in there. And I think they're getting super hot, so I need to wrap these headers. And I do have exhaust wrap, but up there, and that's for sure because this is guaranteed this is getting hot. It's heat soaking, so it looks like I don't have what I need. I got some of this. I can't remember which one this is for. Flip this around here. I got loom, which I bought for my Corvette. That is going to help, but I think it's going to melt because the headers are going to get right around that 500. You're basically right on the edge, so you don't even want to waste this loom to try and do that. I'll probably just buy some heat foil tape. I may try and slide these on. I thought I had some exhaust wrap, but maybe I used it. I probably think I used it on the Corvette actually because it kept burning off the starter solenoid wire, and it was dropping. Couldn't start the car back up when it was warm as well. So I'm gonna get some reflective tape. Okay, had to run back to O'Reilly's. The one that I bought is inner diameter 3/4. I'm running the two lines are probably just a little over an inch, so I actually had to go back and get this one, which is the same length, but it's this one's about $45 versus the other one is like $20. This one supports 1.25 inch inner diameter, and this one actually, since the bigger one, it comes with Velcro. The other one you have to undo your fuel line if that's what you're working on, and you have to put these in there, and you have to slide it over the fittings and the line, right? And so I got an AN, I don't know what that is, maybe a 6 or an 8 on there, so that pretty much eats up that one that I had, which is 3/4 ID, so you wouldn't be able to get the return line with it. And all I'm trying to do is just get heat off of that fuel, the feed and return line in the engine bay and by the header, because I got a long tube header, so it's basically right there. So I'm gonna put this on there, Velcro, and this should help me big time. So this will be a test number, because right now I don't want to make any more tune adjustments until I get I know for sure that the fuel is not vapor locking. So I want to do everything I can. I'm not too worried about this right here. I would really like, because it runs right along the side here, you can see these two lines and they come out right there, and how close they are to the header. So I'm going to get this on there and then run it on the bottom too. So let me jack it up. Okay, got it on. Runs around, runs up. Keep the heat out. Make sure she's sealed up. And going up to the header. So I will need a little bit more, but at least I got the back section. That'll be your $80 exhaust vapor leak. So we'll see. I'm going to start it up, let it idle for a little bit. Seems like it's getting fueled, no problem now. I got it running a little fatter though too. Hook up the laptop quick. I was working on a tune last night, I didn't finish, so I'm going to finish that. To wrench at idle. Okay, this is an update. I think my issue has been resolved. I'm just outside of my neighborhood here. We've got an industrial park with perfectly smooth roads over here. We're not gonna do nothing crazy. We're just basically testing, tuning, see what we come up with. But I'll show you guys what I did. I went back to AutoZone and I bought another one of these, which is the 1.5 inch inner diameter with the Velcro, and they're 3 feet. It's about 50 bucks after tax. And I wrapped up the rest of the line. So I got 6 feet. It's covered past the end of my exhaust, and it's also covered here. I could take some of this but I've been driving around for probably the last 15 minutes now, and it seems like the vapor locking of the fuel that I was getting, I'm no longer getting. So now what I'm trying to do, since I can actually drive it, I'm letting it cool off. I was trying to add a little bit of smooth out the tables a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Try and smooth out the tables. So I did not run a data log on that one, but I got an idea of what I want to do. So let me rotate this. And in the fuel, I forgot it. So here, if we're gonna go wide open, you're gonna want to be, I believe, the guy he put. So let me reconnect. Let it cool off for a minute. Got to turn the ignition on. So the handheld, let's see what our coolant temp was. We were about 213. So I want to park it while I'm trying to do this. Let it cool down, make a couple adjustments. So we're about 212 right now. It goes a little faster if you open the hood. But yeah, this is kind of testing, you know, hot starting and all that. I think this did it. So either way, let's get in here. USB link. It says we're already online. So we should be able to look at our gauges and verify that then. So we're not. We should be reading something if we were really online. There we go. Reset itself there. USB link. Send to ECU. Now I'm going to adjust this table quick. I want to add a little bit more fuel and make a couple timing adjustments. So I want to go from about 21 to everything down here. I'm having a hard time with this. I don't know if it's just my laptop or what, but it's like it won't release these. Like it'll just like get stuck. And I was able to tune on the fly earlier, but now I can't do it. So this I want to make 95%. 95% efficiency on our VE table from 21 millipascals to, we're going to go from basically idle all the way up to 7,000. That's what I'm trying to do. So for some reason this thing is doing like weird stuff. I was able to do it earlier, now I can't get it no more. It's like highlighting some and it won't highlight the others. I don't know if it's my computer or what, but I upgraded it. So we're going to go straight across the top and then drag it down. And I thought you could hit enter is what I was doing earlier, and I was able to change that. I tried the fill rows and all that, and I think what it's just doing from there is just let's see what we can come up with here. So